Yo! Let's fucking go! Who was right? Who made the ultimate prediction? Who is correct for like once? It's this guy. This guy right here. That's right. Yuga, Roa, and Nail are a team. Together, these three powerful duelists will form Team. We have a lot of weird fan art of us on DeviantArt. Yes, that is the best name possible. That's what they will go with. This might be the strongest team in Yu-Gi-Oh! History, unless they face Team 5Ds, who also dueled using a weird, kind of dumb, different format from the main format. Actually, I would so totally fucking watch that. Like, someone get on that. Figure out a way to do that. Like, some sort of weird Rush Duel versus Turbo Duel tournament. I would watch the hell out of that. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week where we talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. If you are new here, because I know the ReZero video got a lot of different kinds of people from normal, many with very strong opinions about people bringing up criticism about ReZero. But if you are new to the channel, this is what we kind of spend a lot of time doing. We talk about Yu-Gi-Oh!, Vanguard, and basically just anything I feel like talking about, which is usually Yu-Gi-Oh! So yeah, this week, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. We started off with our big opening ceremony, which actually does a pretty good job of continuing what I was talking about last week. That idea of legacy and corruption and kind of what companies will do to take control of things. That was once again on display here. Like the way everyone is just saying, go ha rush, go ha rush, go ha rush. We've now seen that in the minds of the general public, the idea of this being Yuga's thing or an underground thing or something created by the fans has been replaced by a big corporation claiming something is theirs just so they can control it. We see that quite a lot in the real world. Like, you see it with a lot of music labels, you see it with a lot of technology, all these things. You are constantly seeing big corporations either try to suppress it, or when they realize they can't, take control of it. And that is what Goha has done. That's right. Y'all thought Decadence was the great anti-capitalism anime? Nah, fuck that shit. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Fucking 7s. That's what's up. So yeah, they have this opening ceremony, and after we get the funny duel of Luke going Goha Rush, because Luke is a perfect little idiot and I love him, we get the OP, and then where we get a bunch of Yuga's monsters. Was that in it last week too? I didn't notice. But yeah, we get that, and then we get on to sort of the main focus of this episode, which is the president of Goha, who is still Mimi, is like, let's do a cheer, let's do a speech, let's get excited. The helmet is like, fuck you, you stupid old hag. Did you call me an old hag? That's right, I did. We're getting a divorce so I can hook up with a woman down south. Oh god, I'm getting too personal. Anyways, so then, yeah, they have the big sort of speech, and we see that the helmet is at the point where he's really starting to get sick of Mimi, which I think is really funny. These two make a really funny pair. There's just something about the way they're both over the top, but in such different ways. It's basically Pinky and the Brain. So yeah, that was pretty good. And then they bring up the main thing, which is Roa's back. That's right. Who doesn't fucking love Roa? I don't mean that ironically. Everyone seems to love this character. He, I think, might be the most popular character, and I mean, he's the rival. They're always the most popular. There's just something always compelling about the guy who doesn't really have to follow the protagonist rules with things. What I mean by that is the MC always has to be someone likable, relatable. They can have a bit of a dickish side to them, which Yuga does, but for the most part, they've always kind of got to be a relatable protagonist who you can follow and keep marketable. Rivals, on the other hand, can kind of have a bit more of an edge to them. They can be a little on the douchier side. They can do things that aren't always okay, that don't always make them out to be a positive light, and that's kind of what makes them interesting. I mean, it's what makes Roa interesting. He's basically a little sociopath, and I can't stop watching him whenever he's on screen. Speaking of can't stop watching him, we find out that Mimi seems to have the hots for Roa. Now again, if you look online, many people do. But in the context of this universe, this is a 37-year-old wanting to get funky with an 11-year-old. Something is wrong here. This show is going off the rails in all the right ways. So then Roa is just like, all right, we're going to duel president. And the president's like, fine, I want VIP passes, I want tickets, I want this, I want that. The helmet's like, what the fuck is going on? And then Roa's like, fine, but in my condition, I get to meet Otis. Boom. Right then and there. They put this shit on Front Street. Like, they basically just flat out give you the reason rivals are loved. Besides the other stuff, and that is, a lot of times they do just do the thing everyone wants to see someone do. They don't have to fit the meandering nature of the story because they're not in it all the time. When they come, their scenes have to be important and they have to be relevant. And so therefore, they have to do cool things like be like, I want to just go get the answers I want right now. Or they get to be like Revolver and just blow shit up. Or they get to be like Reiji and be hyper intelligent. Like, these characters are allowed to do those cool things protagonists can't because it will mess with the flow of the story, and Roa's just like, let me meet Otis. And oh god, I love the way Roa's voice actor does the character. All the voice acting in this show is great. The way everyone balances out the goofiness with the actual character's personality is pitch perfect across the board. But Roa's voice actor has this great way of just making Roa always seem intelligent and calculating and clever, and that was on full display here. The way he just like is gonna get exactly what he wants is really fucking cool. So then the duel happens, and there are two big things that happen. The first is that Roa's two sidekicks are like, fucking done. I like the bit when the guy comes back and you just sort of think, okay, that's it. Like, that's it. It's just going to be back to status quo. They'll just be Roa's two sidekicks. But at the end, they're just like, fuck this shit. Like, he treats us like crap. We're just pawns to him. Let's get the fuck out of here. It's really kind of awesome. Like, this dude has had a complete fucking arc. It's crazy to me. This guy who had like 3 episodes worth of screen time has had this full arc where I genuinely felt sorry for him and I'm happy to see him get a happy ending. I hope they never come back. So that happens, and the other big thing that happens is that during the duel, the helmet proceeds to just get tired of Mimi's shit and is like, control mode, activate! Mind control is obviously a very common theme in Yu-Gi-Oh! We've talked about it several times before, but what's interesting about it this time is because it's in a more comedic sense. Okay, it was treated as straight while it was going on, but it's this show, everything's kind of a joke. Because it happened here, you don't really have the expectations for it. I was reminded a lot of Parasite Fusioner and the mind control shit in Arc 5, where there it was just kind of like, it was also represented in the form of a card showing up and then it happened, but the difference there was that I was supposed to take that shit seriously, and I did, and thought it was really cool, until it just ended up being for plot convenience sake, and just was dropped as quickly as it entered. Whereas here, I don't know where it could go in this, because this is a funny show moving at a different pace and structure. That makes it really interesting to wonder where it could go from here. Maybe Mimi will get loose. Maybe she'll get possessed more. I don't really know, but I gotta fucking find out. That's what makes this show awesome. But then, of course, Roa wins. Otis gets away, which kind of disappoints me, because I would have liked to see that, but obviously you gotta make Otis seem smart as well, so be it. And then at the end, when the two guys have left, and then Yuga's two teammates left to join Asuna, and the way Yuga says, like, okay, go, you gotta go do it, I feel like Yuga knows Asuna is up to something. He's like, well, they're better off helping her out than being with me. I think that's what's going on here. Yuga's too smart to not know that. But then at the end, they're like, we need a third. Who do we get? Nail. That's right. My prediction was correct. I'm awesome. Also, again, it's just the most practical thing to do. You need to get all 4 of these characters in the same spot for something at some point, and this is just convenient. Asuna can do her own thing and show up sooner rather than later to get the plot going, and the 3 are already together and doing cool shit. And also more Cybers and Fiend support, and I like that. So yeah, that was Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s this week. God, the rival just has that ability to get everyone invigorated. But yeah, give me your thoughts about this episode below. And as for the TCG question of the week, in case you haven't heard, my beloved Heroes stole a top 16 spot at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Extravaganza. That's right, nothing warms my heart more than to see my favorite deck do some damage. But of course the question is, how did it do damage? And I have not seen the deck profile myself, so here's just something fun. Let's all just take our guesses right now. Unless you have seen the deck profile, you cheating swine. But no, the two options are, of course, did they win with Dark Law Turbo? Just keep everything banished at all costs? Or was it just a Super Poly deck? Because heroes obviously can manipulate Super Poly very well. Both options I'm fine with, though I know a lot of people are sort of getting sick that heroes have been sort of stuck to these two styles of play for a long time now. I would prefer just Dark Law Turbo, because, you know, it's fun to watch. But tell me about that below. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next week for the arrival of the Ultimate Team.